Good morning, everybody. Hello, Willow. We're over at the farm. Yep, it's another hot day. Not as brutal. I moved Flower. She's over the end here. She's going to be that way. I'm going to have to put her back where she was when I leave because she's actually tied to the plant stand over there. Not stand, but it's like a table. And she doesn't pull and she doesn't get too weirded out with stuff. But if I leave her to her own devices, she'll find it eventually. But she's doing a good job now eating what is out there? Dandelions and things like that. So she's having fun. Steve and a couple of the helpers are out. Today they're planting eggplant. And as you can see, it's labor intensive because everything pretty much here is done by hand. We don't have like mechanical planters or anything. So it's a lot of people. And then off in the distance there is Nathan. And he's going to cut the grass with the lawnmower that got fixed. Si says he's going to be a happy camper, and he is, because one thing he loves doing is cutting the grass. I moved the goats over to finish. Since it's so hot, they can't be out in the field the other side. There's no shade. So he's got to cut that. I would be putting the goats all the way around, but it's just too hot right now. So they're only eating anything that's in the shade. I may walk somebody up in the back. Those people are going to be here. That's what I did the other day. I ran the rope along the back to work on the path. So worked it right though. But she's good. I believe nothing's planted where she's at right there. So I guess we're good for the moment. Anyway, what I'm going to do here is we have what do you call it? Let's see. Both wells, like well water and city water. Let me get this to stand here and not fall over. There we go. This right here is a connector for the city water. We were working on wells yesterday, and I'll have to do like a class on wells because it's always an adventure. But it's very time consuming because of you have to turn the well on, and then you have to walk down, and then you have to walk up, and then you have to walk down and see if it's running. It shows it's pumping, but is water really coming out, which is the problem we had yesterday. So that will be a whole thing. So I'm going to pause this for a second while I just notice I'm missing one tool. I'll be right back. Well, that was an error, not tool. It's the package of washers and stuff. Okay. We have it's a very, very common problem when you turn the water on. This underneath, I'm not going to move it because we have a concrete block on it, but this is the main shut off for the water. We put this plastic on top, number one, to remind you that it's there, but also to protect it from, to help protect it from freezing. It has a bunch of like insulation in it and stuff like that, and we do check it, make sure it doesn't get a lot of mice nests and stuff. Like right now it's empty, but in the winter we fill this, so it helps protect everything from freezing. The city will actually go down and shut the water off in the fall sometime, and then one reason is because nobody uses the water up here, and if there is a line break, the water would just run and nobody would know it. So we do shut it off, and then they come on, turn it on sometime in the spring. And it's a pretty good system. But just like everybody, water is water. And this year is the water year. So we have a main valve that you can turn. This shuts everything on and off, which is what I'm going to be really using today. If you do this off of your house, repair this, you actually have to shut off the water at your main, or if you have a shut off between your water service and this. Like I have one in my basement, but if you look, most how-to things tell you to shut it off at the street. It depends on how your water is set up. So before you go unscrewing it and wishing you had waited. Just make sure that you know where all your water shut offs are. You make sure your water is shut off. Right, I just turn this on. When you have a pipe, you make sure that whatever your shut off is, if it's in line, means it's open, like there's a straight through line. But if you turn it sideways, you can pretend like that's a bridge and the drawbridge is up, and guess what? No water is getting through. So we turn that. But when we turn this on, we look and see where water is leaking out of, and it does. It's going to glare out of me now. It was leaking out of here. Yeah, it is. It's leaking out from under here. And what that means, this I have to put a new, to double check what I'll do is I'll put a washer in there. And I have some in the car. He had gotten some new ones, but sometimes you'll buy brand new washers and they're already dried out. So I'll be right back. Alrighty. Yeah, see, most of the leak here problem is with the washer here. So actually it's awfully loose. I wonder if tightening that up might just solve all our problems. So that would be the first thing I do. I still haven't fixed this out from the other day, but that's not big enough. You see, I have to get another wrench from the car. Well, that's draining. I'll get another one. Okay. So these are all off and everything. And there's not that much draining, but it is draining. So I have a couple of kinds here. This is one of those automatic deals. And hey, don't get me all wet. Oh, yeah, get me all wet. Why don't you? Okay, it's not going to let me turn it. Because the handle was in the way. I was going to just try to tighten it. This was on, there's a lot of pressure. That's why there's more water coming out than you would think. Let's see. This is a new, in the hose here. Yeah, see, that's pretty new. I think it just needed to be tightened down, to tell you the truth. Probably with all the back and forth. Let's just tighten it down. Somebody could have done it when the hands were wet. Could be anything. So, okay, we'll do it with this one. What's the matter, sweetie? One of the guys just walked by, so of course she wants to get petted. So let's just tighten this down. We're going to find out that every problem going on with this farm today was just because either things weren't on or they were loose. So, and this doesn't come on and off, so I'm going to tighten it down pretty darn good. Now, let's see what happens. Okay, much better. Now that's not leaking, but you can see the problem I came to fix. See, under here, it's leaking right from under where this nut is. So I'm going to shut this off here. And let that. It's because I drain so much, it doesn't have a lot of pressure. So first thing we're going to do is, there's a nut here. And you know what's going to happen? I'll bet you. That's not really long, so that's not so bad. If this was going straight into a house, it would be kind of hard because if this handle was long, sometimes there's a long, like a rod before you get to your shut off. That makes it tough. But this isn't so bad because they're, the only problem is that it's like very close to the ground. So I really can't, I have to go by feel here. And I don't know how that's going to work out, but we'll find out. And it would have been nice if I did straighten these tools out, or next size down from what's this one. So we want 3/8. Where my 3/8 be? That's what I should have done last night, but I didn't. There it is. Dang it. Oh, what is that? No. Oh, that's bizarre. Okay. Let's see if we can do it from size of the best. Because there's another problem with me, is I can't see that pretty well. Let's try 7/16. Too big, too small. Oh, so we go into our, let's pretend it's metric. Maybe we should do that. Okay, that might work. Can that one work? Alrighty. So while we try to, where's that? 11. Let's see. 11. Let's see if this can possibly, by some remote chance. There it is. This set. It's a nice little, like, all around set, but it has like certain limitations. Let's try 10. Where are you? This is a good reason to keep your tools in order. And usually I do. I'm really good at that. And I try to clean them off when I'm done so that they're not all greasy and gross. Especially because, I mean, I used to work in people's houses and I never wanted to go in and have like all their big tools and stuff. Number one, you get people's houses dirty. Why can't I find this? Aggravating. 9, 12. Let's see. Like, oh no. And I know it's here because the whole toolkit is full. Alright. I'm going to pause this here for a second because I don't want to make you sit while I'm looking for a stupid thing that probably I can't find. eat. There it is. As soon as I get up, yeah. You know why? Because my knees hurt all the time. There we go. Yes. You know it fits? 10 millimeter. Go figure. All right. So I'm going to make sure. Hopefully. Now one thing too is sometimes these have been sitting so long they can be very difficult to undo. This is still leaking. What else can I do? Get bigger. You get bigger. I don't know if I have a. Well, no, it doesn't get bigger. It just comes off. So that's not good. What else can we do? I don't know if holding here. There we go. So I found a trick that no one ever told me before. Is if you open your valve all the way, the screw comes off quite easily. So there's a hint if you have plumbers that, haven't really told you something to make your life easier, which I haven't, but when I did this at my house, oh my goodness, it was like, oh, I can't get this thing off. And I tried like jamming everything, and oh my goodness. All right. And now, let's get you out of here. Now the nut doesn't want to come out of here, of course. It will if I screw it on into it, so I won't worry about that. Alrighty. Now let's. Alright. And I do have to be really careful about tools here because there is like leaf. If I drop something, that's the end. So, no. So let's see if I can do this. One second. Alright, we'll let that drain for a second. Oh, my knees. Oh, I'm old. I'm so old. My goodness. I let that drain, get a little drink. And it's amazing. Yesterday, I was out doing, we were doing the, what do you call it? The well. Then I went back and I was working on the goat fence for a little while so I could get them over in the shade. And I know for a fact I had 4 1-quart glasses, 2 water bottles, and what else? because I had to go to the vet. Time for my shots. Haha. No, the dogs needed their update, so I went to the vet and did a job on the way back. Got a water bottle there. So I drank like a gallon and a half yesterday, and what came out did not match what came in. So I know I was sweating up a storm. Changed my shirt 3 times. It's not even that humid yesterday. It's like 50%. That's why when we get into that 80% stuff, oh, it's brutal. It's brutal. So here we go. Okay, here's my glasses. Come on. There we go. Why can't I get it off? Come on. This is really an unfortunate circumstance here. It looks like somebody has glued something. This isn't real old. I'm wondering if we could just really tighten everything down. Sometimes that will work. I really wanted, since I'm going through all this, I wanted to put new packing and new washers in there, but you know what? Yeah, some of this stuff is, we've used like repurposed, I should say, fixtures that we found that were on the house, that were on the bond. But this one's really new, and it's really making me think that now, after all that, as I told you, I tend not to do things the easy way. But let's just see if tightening this sucker down was enough to make it. Okay. Come off. Come off. Ugh. I just saw that. Okay. Well, anyway. Whenever you've worked on water, I know everybody, especially if you have to shut off the water at the street, make sure you turn the water on slowly so you don't bust your system. Now this is so close, we can't really like bust the system, but if you're doing it into your house, can't do anything. Hello?
Real dedication to your knees, wow.
How terrible is that? I didn't even turn around. Don't know who it was. Didn't see him. I might have made that a little bit, that one a little bit too tight. We loosened it up a little bit. hands are wet now. My hands are sore. And I really crammed it down. There we go. Okay, now. Okay. So that works. No leaks. Good job. Alrighty. Now I've noticed back here there's a little leak too. So I'm gonna assume I didn't bring any Teflon tape. It needs just needs to be wrapped. So that's what I'll do. But right now, water's on, and there's no leaks. It just needed to be tightened. So all that aggravation for nothing. Oh well. Okie dokie. Well, that was pleasant. I tried to show you something, but then I showed you something. This is the antique Kathy way. Is tighten things down before you give yourself a headache. Back to when you put the battery in. Don't screw everything down before you even know if the silly thing works. So that's the lesson for today. So, and there is another faucet that is doing the same type of deal. It's doing this little leak thing. So what I'm going to do is go tighten that one down, and if it ends up that doesn't work, I will make a part 2 to this one too. So anyway, happy watering to everyone. Very good. And yeah, flower is over here. She's not bothering the seedlings or the tomatoes on the other side. So maybe it's going to be another one of those happy days. So hope everybody's having a good one. Take care, and I will talk to you next time. Till I talk to you anyway. Yes, she does that frequently. She sticks her head in. It's an attention thing. She wants me to go, but I'm not going to. She has everything that she needs. So anyway, do something nice for people today. Just one person. Do something nice for one person. That's all. And make yourself happy. Don't work too hard. And try to stay cool if you're in a hot place. Drink plenty of water, right? Take care. And until next time, bye.